a surprise Thursday night edition of the A-Team. My name is Amber. I'm going to be your host along with my awesome sidekick, Amanda. How you doing today, Amanda?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm doing great. RC's not able to join us, and that's okay. We'll see her next time. No worries. I finally found a hat that fits my big old head.
I think my dad left his hat at your house.
Probably. I will take it, though. Why? Because the Los Angeles Rams and the San Francisco 49ers are the Thursday night game. So, if you can't tell who I'm cheering for, just saying.
I don't know. I don't know about that game, though.
I know. It's going to be a tight one, but hopefully we'll see the Niners pull a win for me.
Yeah, I would much rather have a Purdy win versus a Rams win.
For sure. Speaking of NFL, man, a lot has happened since last time we spoke. We are looking at potential playoff contentions. Also, some suspensions that have happened, appeals that did not, injuries that could just make or break teams, on top of, our regular hustle and bustle of the holidays. I know that as women, myself included, we don't get much time to actually sit back, relax, and watch the football. We're too busy cleaning and cooking and prepping and icing and
Christmas decorations,
taking down Thanksgiving decorations. Yeah, I finished Thanksgiving just in time to turn around and do it all over again for Christmas. It is so much fun, let me tell you.
That's right. First, I gotta say this. I gotta start this off though with that Trevor Lawrence hit. I know that was, a couple weekends ago, but let me just say that was ridiculous. Absolute intentional, knew what he was doing. I mean, and I thought for what he got for being suspended, what was it, 2 or 3 games?
Yeah.
That's a joke. I think that's a joke.
It's football, guys. Football. These are people that are playing for millions of dollars. Millions. Okay? And don't get me wrong. I don't ever want to see a player hurt on either side. Okay? Never, ever want to see a player hurt. However, either they need to stop allowing the quarterback to run out of the pocket to avoid these kinds of hits, or we need to let them play football. I don't think that these 3-game suspensions should have happened. I know that the appeal did not go through. And to be very honest, it's the slide.
These are life-altering things. I mean, that hit could have been a life-altering situation for him. And I'm sorry, but that's a big deal.
Yeah, shoulda, coulda, woulda. I don't think it should be the illegal hit that everyone's making it out to be. Because why? You ready? Quarterbacks are supposed to throw the ball. I get it. If you want to be a scat back and you want to run, that's the risk that you take. You take the risk of getting hit.
Listen, I'm going to tell you right now, if that was a Patrick Mahomes that got hit the way Trevor Lawrence got hit, I can tell you right now, the consequences for that hit would have been a lot worse than what
Patrick Mahomes
hit was.
Yeah, but Patrick, let's be honest about this. Patrick Mahomes has invented the fake out when it comes to running in a slide. There are so many outside linebackers, so many defensive players that don't even want to touch it anymore for this exact reason. He has faked a slide so many times. I mean, that's how he's gotten the majority of his first downs. Come on. He's starting to turn into the LeBron of football, honestly.
Well, you don't see the quarterback of the Ravens getting hit like that. And he runs every second he gets.
Yep.
Granted, he's tall and he's very tall.
Yeah, I mean, Even when Kaepernick played back for the Niners, you didn't see it happening with him. And he was a scat back. So, I mean, here it is. If you're going to run, expect the defense to do what they're supposed to do. It's their job.
Yeah. Well. Okay.
I mean, I feel bad. Lawrence immediately, I don't know if y'all watched the tape on it, but he immediately just straight out stiffed, leg was shaken. It was definitely concussion protocol time. And as a result, the team, both sides just went at it. Good old fashioned fight night for sure.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, he got, Lawrence got carted off the field. It was, I don't think it was a bad hit. I think it was a decent hit. It was a hard hit. I don't think it was a bad hit because you can't stop mid lunge. You just can't. But the quarterbacks are sliding at the very last second. How do you expect the defensive guys to automatically stop? Yeah, Come on.
I guess.
Come on.
So one thing I wanted to say too that I noticed the NFL is doing a lot, which I love, is like Debo had his son and was signing autographs. Saquon had his son and was, walking around signing autographs and the family time. I'm loving the NFL really capturing, these families. And I feel like that really started when the Netflix season came out. Like when the Netflix came out with their series and we all got to know their families and their children a little bit more. I feel like that's really opened up the NFL to really showcase like, hey, these players do have families, they have lives, they have things too. I just think it's really cool to see. Very special. And those are moments that maybe their children will be playing football one day and they'll be able to play those again, when their child grows older, which I think is just very, very cool. Very cool. Yeah. And also the other thing I wanted to bring up is what is going on with all these home invasions of these football players?
Man.
You had Burrow, you had Kelsey, you had Mahomes, all these players that are getting their homes like ransacked is just crazy to me.
Yeah, it is pretty wild. I will say, as somebody who lives in one of the states that has some better ways to protect yourself, please reach out to the authorities, call the police, because these are mothers, these are wives and girlfriends that are in these homes when it's not happening. Hell, their staff. I mean, who was it? The maid scared them off, of all people. Mm-hmm. The housekeeper. Mm-hmm. That's just wild to me. It's very mind-boggling, and I listen to it and I'm just like, man, they wouldn't have had a chance to run away if they come into my house.
And Joe Burrow's girlfriend was there. I mean, it's it's very, very scary to think. So
I know that sometimes celebrity status is, some things are par for the course. This definitely is not and should not be happening. If anybody knows of anything that happens,
you read this?
Yeah, Arlington, how's it going? TJ Moe said ladies should not be talking football. How do you feel about that? Well, let's see.
You see our faces? Mm-hmm.
I mean, it could go one or two ways. Number one, I haven't heard anybody say anything directly to me, so I don't know who he's speaking on. But, if he does feel like wanting to come up and speak to me directly, he's more than welcome to. I don't even know who this guy is. Who is this guy? Who's this TJ Moe?
I don't know, but let me just say this. I find that very interesting because women are taking over the game of football. You have the UFL, who has hired several women to be a part of their team. You also have the NFL that have women that are killing it talking sports. Whether that be sidelines on ESPN, pre-games, even the morning NFL talk show. You're starting to get podcast shows, radio shows on Sirius XM that are women talking sports, all sports. Let me tell you, times have changed.
Oh, welcome to 2024 Neanderthals.
Mm-hmm.
And if you think that women don't know how to talk football, guess what? Women have been doing everything that you've been doing. We just have now a louder voice about it. The thing that cracks me up is here's my kicker. This is an all-woman show speaking from a woman's perspective about sports and the women that could be involved, the men that can be involved, the women behind the scenes. And, whether it's an interview that we land with top medical personnel, interviews that we land with other entities throughout, whether it's sales, VPs, Danny Garcia, perfect example of a top female crushing it by being part owner of an actual sports franchise with spring football.
And what was Mizzou's record? And where was Mizzou with all of the games? No.
What is it? It's funny. It makes me think of that old stand-up that Cat Williams did. Honey, haters are going to hate. That's their job. Let them hate, baby. Because why? I'm renting space in your head for free. You're talking about me on other shows? Please. I can't get better publicity than that. Let them hate. It's what they're supposed to do. That's what it is. As far as women, baby, women been doing it since the beginning of time. If it wasn't for women, you wouldn't have the men doing the jobs that they do.
Well, and I'd be careful at what a lot of these people are saying about women, because a lot of women nowadays could be the ones holding the cards for their career. So they might want to think a little bit, because I remember correctly when I was on the field for some on-field experiences with the UFL, there were quite a few women on the sidelines that were actually out there working with the players, throwing the ball to the players, being the center for the players, doing multiple things. And not only that, are stretching their bodies to keep them in shape to be on the field, who are most likely paying the paycheck for a lot of those male players. So I really would watch what you say about women.
Now wait, let's go the flip side with the fan base, right? You really think it's the men making the decisions on whether or not they get their season tickets? Women tend to hold the purse strings when it comes to home budgets. And guess what? It's women that make the decisions on what is family oriented, what outings they go on, and how they end up spending the money when it comes to extracurricular activities. So, I mean, at the end of the day, I don't even know who I don't know who he is. Look, at the end of the day, TJ, you're welcome to come speak to me. I'm more than happy to have a sit down with you in regards to what football is about. Okay. I don't understand what my qualification as a woman has to be in order to talk football. But the last time I heard, every human has a mouth. The fact that I'm a woman is irrelevant. But I do appreciate the free publicity, and I love running space in your head.
I know. Thank you for letting us live rent-free. We appreciate you.
Haters gonna hate, baby. Let them hate. That's what they do. It's their job. Speaking of jobs, let's get back to this one. With what are we thinking? It's week 15 NFL, right? We're kicking it off. Week 15. We're looking at all of the possibilities for playoff contentions right now. So the team's chances of making a team. So we've got the if wins and if loses, right? We've got the playoff leverage, meaning that it refers to the impact of a game on a team's prospect on getting into playoffs. And here's the kicker. It's calculated between the difference of the team's probability of making playoffs in an upcoming game versus the losses. So these if-then scenarios, if so-and-so wins, then this team advances. If so and so loses, then this team advances. It's a high leverage indicator of the significance for the playoff chances, so to speak. And I'm here for it. A lot of people are not liking it. A great example of that outcome is the college level. I don't know if you've seen what the college playoffs are right now, but I'll tell you, some people are rather irritated because they feel as though teams with very, very easy schedules are getting the W column filled up, and that is what makes or breaks the playoff announcements.
Please.
I mean, I don't know. What are y'all's thoughts?
Please. And then the next year they're going to cry foul because of something else. I mean, listen, how many teams have a hard season one season, the next year they don't? I mean, it's just there's always going to be one division that's better than the other. They're always going to be, I'm sick of hearing this cry wolf.
Come on, you've got to admit it.
I've been trying to get my Vikings in the Super Bowl for how long now? That's like me saying the Vikings have a they play horrible good teams all the time.
Right.
They're losing all the time. I mean, I definitely see the Lions and the Chiefs being in the Super Bowl. I really do. And I have to say, the Lions do deserve it. The Chiefs, on the other hand, do not. They had that donk. I have never known a team to literally come down every single, how many weeks has been? Like, at least 3 of the weeks that they've played, it's come down to a field goal.
Yeah.
2 of the times, one of the times it was blocked by their player towards the very end of the game, again. And then this last game came down to the field goal yet again, and it hit the post and went in. I'm like, why can't it just, what is the deal? And it just so happened to be the night of Taylor Swift's last Era Tour.
Yeah.
In Vancouver. And they won. I'm like, what is it with, are all those Chiefs players putting freckles on their face every week or what? Like, I just don't understand what it is about the Chiefs that they'd always pull it out at the very end. I don't get it. And it's not like they're playing that good. It's not.
They're not playing.
So
but I will say this much: the fact that they're always scraping by shows the drive that they have. I think Reed and the team are doing a great job of making sure that they extend it. They definitely get away with some calls. They get away with some flags or lack thereof, depending on how you look at it. But it does definitely go in their favor towards the last minute. And yeah, majority of their games are usually within a 1-score point difference. So, I mean, it's back and forth, And it's funny because I look at the game now, I look at the game back then, and I look at the difference between college and NFL because they didn't have that bridge, right? There was no in between. And so that's why I'm glad that I can see the UFL coming into this. It's kind of a springboard for potentials to go out there and show everybody what they're made of. When it comes to college, though, it's a whole different thing because they finish the season and let's say the team gets a bowl, Sugar Bowl, Cotton Bowl, Orange Bowl, Rose Bowl, the Tostitos Bowl, whatever bowl it is. If they're potentially looking for NFL draft, they're not making the bowl appearances, and I've seen a lot of the fan base get very irritated behind that. My question to you: should a college player be required to play all games, including the bowl games? What are y'all's thoughts? What are your thoughts, Amanda?
Should they? I mean, I feel like that's always based on performance and behavior, but I mean, that's near and far between now because I feel like it's just your performance of who you are, what you do for it. I feel like there's players that get away with things for certain behavior and there's players that don't. Let's be honest.
Right, right.
Um, but listen, when you play on a team, you got to everything's got to be fluid, everything's got to be cohesive, everything's got to be working. And I feel like there has been times where players have been inconsistent. And if you're not being consistent on the field, I feel that coach has every right to pull you. And if you
Mm-hmm.
don't play, then you don't play
Yeah.
for your performance on the field.
What about
Everyone wants to win, right?
Well, yeah, but what about the voluntary? Like, should they be allowed to decide on their own whether they're playing or not? Because there's
No.
teams, like for example, let's say just I'm throwing arbitrary, the Sugar Bowl. What
Mm-hmm.
happens if Texas A&M and Boise State both end up in the Sugar Bowl and play and people go to purchase tickets to attend this bowl game and they're getting this second and third string prospects because first string is like, nah, I don't want to play. I don't want to risk an injury because I'm trying to get into the NFL. Like that's what we're seeing now. We're starting to see a higher trend of the players just bowing out. No, I don't want to play. Thank
That
you.
happened
No,
in the
thank you.
UFL last year with the quarterback of the Brahmas, I do believe.
Exactly.
He
And that's
pulled
where I'm
out
kind of
because
tying
he
it
was
all in.
concerned. In my opinion, if you were told you're going to play, you're going to play. But I don't feel that it's fair
It's
to
catch
do that.
22. Catch 22, right?
I don't feel that that's fair to do that because here's the deal. A lot of times players get hurt is when it's games that really don't matter.
Yep.
So that's the hard part about it too. But I'm sorry, that's like me saying with my job, right? With me
Yeah.
doing hair. Well, I've got this big event the next day. So you can't cut your finger all week long or you're going to be out and you can't do it. Like you can't do that. If it's a job, you sign up for the job, you do the job. Whether it's a game that matters or not. That's so important. So
Right.
important. I personally think that players should not be able to make that call. No.
I don't think they should be allowed to make that call. The
No.
fans, the boosters, the towns depend on that revenue. And if they're going to start just allowing second and third strings to go out for these bowl games, then what's the point?
Jason said if they take this NIL
Hey,
money, then yes.
there you go. That's definitely a good incentive for sure. I mean, come on, you're taking that money anyways off your sales and stuff. And I mean, but also a lot of it is done in protest, believe it or not. I mean, come on. Texas Longhorns, for example, first year in the SEC, right? They had one of the easiest schedules in college ball. One of the absolute easiest. Didn't play ranked games, didn't even play other SEC games until later on in their schedule, and they were ranked fifth above Ohio State. That's where some of the contention comes in on this collegiate level regarding the rankings. Like Notre Dame, really? Notre Dame played a tougher season. Tennessee was just under them. It just kept going back and forth. There was a lot of up and down, but people were just looking at it going, did they really deserve to be that far up for the first year in a tough league with one of the easiest schedules? I think the
There's
rankings.
So many teams, though. There's so many. There's so many teams that literally, when I'm looking to see who's playing, I'm like, gotta scroll. It gets to be too much,
Right.
with all these teams. So
with the Big 10, with the Big 12,
yes.
with the okay.
So if they want to do anything, I think that they should sit down and literally say, within the last 5 years, here were their rankings for the last 5 years. This is where they were at. Okay.
Mhm.
Here's another team in the last 5 years. Here's where they were at. They need to scramble up the system a little bit in college. When you have that many teams playing, it's different than the NFL. Okay.
Right.
With who's playing who, right? If you
Yeah.
really want it to be true to all these bowls being what these bowls are standing for what teams are playing for these bowls and what they're going for, then
Yeah.
seriously sit down. Isn't football analytics? If football is all about analytics, then why don't you do analytics in college football and sit down and literally say, this team did this team did this. Okay, we're seeing some similar. Where's the accountants? Where's the people that have the numbers? Come on now.
I mean, whether it's the ACC, the CFP, the SEC, you got Big Ten, you got the Mountain West. I mean, we got all these different conferences, but you're expecting all of these conferences to have their own ranking system and then interchange them as necessary.
They need to sit down and reassess that in the drawing board, how they're doing it. I don't understand it. Football is all about analytics, like I said.
Right.
How do you not, if you don't convert numbers in your head while you're playing the game, how do you not do that with who they're going to play for the season to make it fair for all teams to play? It can change up all the time. I don't understand why it's got to be so. I don't get it.
Yeah, but I will say I'm happy that this year without Nick Saban, I'm not hearing about Alabama.
Yeah.
So that's a bonus for me because, the coach is gone. It seems like, okay, fine. They're not so much in the limelight anymore. Speaking of coaches.
Seems to me like Alabama heads on a tombstone right now anyway. So.
Yeah. But, I mean, speaking of coaches making moves in college coaching, what about Bill Belichick going to University of North Carolina? How's that going to happen?
Maybe he's converting to college football because his girlfriend's closer to college age. I don't know. Perhaps.
I was thinking the same thing.
Just throwing that out there. Just, this
slob that one.
Just my speculation. Maybe his girlfriend's friends are at that college. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe they're throwing keggers. She might have, you never know. She might have pledged at one of the sororities.
Bill Belichick would fit right in at a frat party. Wouldn't he? It'd be great. Hands down. Best frat party of Yep.
I could just imagine him sitting on some frat couch and one of the kids looking at him going, "So, Brady."
Yeah. That's the thing I'm going to say right now about Belichick, right? Listen, Belichick had all these successful years, and who did he have those successful years with? Good old Tom Brady, okay? Second Tom Brady went away, what happened to Bill Belichick? Notice the hair started receding a little bit more, seemed a little bit shorter, just wasn't working for him. I don't know if him going to college is his way of saying this is a reboot, crisis? This is a restart for him. Like he's gonna go back to NFL, but let's just start over again. But he better have a good quarterback. That's all I gotta say. Because if there's no quarterback, honestly, I'm not seeing it for that team, and I'm curious what they're paying him, mind you.
Yeah, that information's not been released just yet.
I've been looking too.
Yeah. I've tried to scour the normal sports rags to see if somebody's mentioned it, but I haven't heard anything about it. I'm kind of wondering if you're playing college football right now, you got to be wondering if they're going to get some more recruiting, because just for the name, like the boosters. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good point there. And I'm interested to see how it's going to go. I'd like to see how it pans out. Hopefully it means more dollars for the college and a little bit higher limelight. Because, I mean, come on, what's the last thing that's come out of Carolina? What was the last biggest thing that came out of Carolina? I don't even think it was, it was Jordan, right?
And that's what's crazy to me is that a coach like him, okay, with his record, goes to North Carolina. Like, you can't tell me that he's not going to North Carolina to hopefully re-kick him. Okay, Sanders, for instance, he is now the coach, right, of Deion Sanders, the coach for one of the football teams. Was in Michigan?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah.
Okay. Coach for them. And look at how great they did. Was great. Created a name for himself. Was honestly wasn't heard of for a while. And then came back for coaching. Same thing with Bill Belichick. The only thing that I saw him really on, other than ESPN periodically, was Tom Brady's roast that he was on for majority of the time. But other than that, you really have not seen him at all. And then he has this great comeback, and where does he go? North Carolina. Like, really? He's wanting a start over. He is wanting to reboot his name, his brand, who he is, what he does, and I think that he's always wanted to be, and at the time, I think he was, like Andy Reid. I think Bill Belichick was an Andy Reid, and I think now he's trying to be the
next Nick Saban.
Yeah. Yep.
Interesting.
Yep, that's my point of view.
I don't know. I'm looking forward to seeing what he has to offer and the potential that it brings in the area. Who knows? This might be the beginning of a beautiful midlife crisis.
Yeah. I was also going to talk about the standings real quick.
With
NFL, the AFC North with Pittsburgh being first.
Yeah, nobody saw that one coming.
Shocking to me. I mean, Buffalo, I anticipated that. I mean, and here's another example, okay? AFC East. You got Buffalo, Miami, the Jets, and New England.
Yeah.
The Jets and New England's record is 3-10, people. 3-10. Okay?
What are we doing? And
then you go over to the NFC East, okay? And we have Dallas that's 5-8, and we have the Giants that are 2-11.
Right.
Like, okay, for instance, obviously the East are not really having great success. Okay? But the team that I am most shocked by this year, I have to say, is honestly the Steelers and the Eagles coming back the way that they've come back like that. 11-2.
No way.
I mean, I'm not going to even. I mean, in Green Bay too. Also,
the team this year, in my opinion, the team this year has definitely been the Lions. Detroit, straight out the gate, they've just been pounding and prancing and just, I mean, it's been phenomenal seeing. I mean, like, they make it fun to watch again. That's the part that people are not understanding is, man, when these players gel, like the way the Lions have been, it's making it fun to watch football. And I'm here for it, man. I really am. I'm a Niners fan. Don't get it wrong, but at the end of the day, you can't knock it where it's at. Hey, what's up, Rick? How's it going? But yeah, you can't knock it. The Lions have been doing a phenomenal job. And I mean, credit where credit's due. The players, they've got a great combination going. The coaching staff is giving them the know-how, the ideas, but also giving them the freedom to change it up as needed. And between it's just a beautiful cohesive ballet of fun, excitement, and like it's that boom 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 boom. You know, like it just makes you excited and you're on the edge of your seat going, come on, let's go Lions. Like I find myself cheering for them. It's amazing. And given the current climate and recent events that have happened in the Detroit area, man, Michigan needs this now more than ever. So I'm here for it. Let's go. Let's go, Motor City. Come on.
Mm-hmm. Also, I love the fact that golf has really changed who he is too. How much he's going for stuff now. How much he wants to be in there. I'm seeing that Mahomes in him. Definitely this season for sure. He's really stepping outside of his comfort zone this year for sure.
He's seeing
I
the
just
fun
hope he
in
doesn't
it.
get interception happy. But I don't think
Yeah.
he will.
I
Matthew
don't
Stafford does that more.
That's probably going to be, if anything was like that was to happen, I could see that would be where it would be the emotional impact that a defense would have to make in order to stop the momentum that the Lions have right now. So hats off to the team. They're doing a great job. Keep it up. And honestly, I would not be mad if they came out with Super Bowl victory this year. I really wouldn't.
So do you think Jamar Chase will stay with the Bengals then next year? I don't.
Ooh, nope. I don't see it. I mean, I've got him on my fantasy league and he blew it up. 45 plus points.
Yeah, he had a total a total of 1,319 receiving yards. He was ranked first this last weekend with Justin Jefferson at 1170. So, I mean, and the Vikings had a great game, but Jamar Chase had 14 catches, 191 total yards, and 2 receiving TDs.
It
I
was
mean, the guy is good. I
it was
I don't
great
I
to
don't know
watch.
where he'll go. I'm interested to see where he'll go.
Yeah, I am too. I mean, when we look at it playoff wise, I I don't know. Hopefully I don't see the Bengals really doing much, but I think that's going to be the reason that Chase justifies parting ways with Cincinnati. I really do.
Mm-hmm.
But here's my question. If he does, where do you think he'll go?
I know, that's what I'm wondering. Eek.
Hands up, hands up. Let's see what the toss up is, you know?
Who's gonna have all the money?
I know that the game going on right now, the Niners and the Rams,
Mm-hmm.
you know, I mean, though both those teams are 7-7, right? So this is the tiebreaker for them, right?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if it's going to be a blowout. I'm not expecting it to be a blowout. And as soon as we're done here, trust me, I'm going to put this noggin right back on and let my big old ego and my big old lady mouth get to screaming for my Niners, right? And if they're going to hate on me, they're going to hate on me. I don't care. But at the end of the day, I'm hoping that the Niners squeak it out. I just don't know that it's going to be by much. I mean, what is it? The spread was 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I'm looking at Sunday, the games this weekend, man. Sunday, the Packers and the Seahawks, that could very well be the wild card preview that everyone is looking for when playoffs come around. I mean, Green Bay didn't do much with the Detroit. They had the bye. They got the game-winning field goal. But I'm just I don't know. I don't know.
So I want
know
to bring
and
this. I want to bring this up because I thought it was very, very cool, and I think it speaks to a lot of what the players are doing in the UFL on their own time. Right? I've seen a lot of charity work going on with UFL players, especially with the Battlehawks, with Feeney and Sutherland, are doing a lot of really, really good things in the community. And the NFL is doing hashtag my cause, my cleats. And
right.
all the players are wearing, cleats with their charities and stuff on them. It's very cool. If you have not seen it, go to the NFL Facebook page and check it out. Or watch every week because the players are wearing them all the time. But I think that would be excellent for the UFL players to be able to do themselves. I know that some of them already have some I know would wear like pink cleats every once in a while for breast cancer, things like that. But I think that would be something that would be really cool.
Yeah.
To put out there for all players to get to know, or, all fans to get to know the players a little bit more. So to the UFL, that would be something amazing.
Yeah. I mean, and even
the players could do to get their names, but also these charities out there to also represent them, and the team would be very helpful.
Here's an idea for you. Let's take a page out of the NFL and go even a step further. Put these cleats up for auction. Proceeds go to the charity that they're representing. I would love to see that happen. I think that that's a great way to promote the league, promote giving back, get these players' names out there and heard. And who knows, maybe enough of a highlight that the NFL might actually start looking at them too. So it's a win-win-win all the way around.
And also to the fans out there too that also watch the players get off the buses to go into the stadiums, it would be very, very cool for people, instead of, passing them their shirts, of what they're representing or whatever, to pass them like a charity shirt, right? Or something that they would love a player to help represent, to help the fan out. I think that would be really cool. So here's my challenge to anyone that is watching. If you can, if you're a company, anything like that, it would be really cool to have you put hashtag and then the charity and give them to the players as they're walking in, so that those players can start wearing those shirts when they're getting off the buses, when they're heading into the stadium too. I think that'd be really cool to start getting the players to start wearing these charity shirts, start doing things like that to help represent, to get things out as well.
I mean, maybe we'll see a couple of players wearing some ATeam logo shirts to help promote a podcast. So you guys will be able to see us out there. Who knows? I do know that we had Trey Fluellen on here with the Houston Roughnecks. He was assigned to the Houston Roughnecks in the UFL. He actually has made the leap from UFL to NFL and recently has been signed with the New Orleans Saints. Nice. I thought that was pretty freaking amazing. And I was able to talk to Catherine Schultz, one of our representatives from the office of the Houston Roughnecks. She was able to give me a little bit more of an explanation behind that. I'm saving that interview for next week. So make sure you guys come back on Wednesday to see what we got for that one. But it's definitely a cool concept to see these players with the excitement and the drive and the passion going and making those leaps. And I mean, he is just nothing but positive and proud. All of his social media reflects it. And the fans and the friends and the family that post on it, man, I'm seeing nothing but positivity. Congratulations. You're doing great. Your name's going to be known soon enough. And I mean, hats off to him. I hope he does great. I'd love to see the success. And I can't wait to sit here and go, yeah, he was an awesome player and we got to interview him first. So that's just a little bit of what you see on the all women's ATeam. You know, we get some pretty decent interviews once in a while. We'll see how it goes. The way back wins, you know.
Yeah, we already know the Nooch went to the Saints. Also, I want to say, it'd be very cool to see too, our players wearing women's football shirts, because women play football too.
Yeah.
So I think that would be really cool.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, I could see it. I'm not mad at that. I do know that
just saying,
the current status of everything right now, man, we're just so busy with the hubbub of the holidays and the new year coming around. I know that election results kind of have thrown an impact, and upcoming reservations, I guess, in regards to it. Other sports are kind of making some impact. I don't know. I'm looking at it from like the woman's perspective of where do we see football go in 2025? Is it going anywhere? We doing anything special? Do we see any, self promotions, any potential possibilities? I know that the women's football is they're still having teams holding tryouts. Mm-hmm. So get on that women's football alliance, and see where the tryouts are. Look, if you big and brave enough, I'll see. Let's see it. Let's make it happen.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna try to see if I can get a hold of the Houston team down here and get them. Hopefully, get some highlights for y'all, and maybe be able to sneak in on a practice or two. Who knows? Maybe I'll be live on location. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see what 2025 has in store.
Mm-hmm.
I will say, it's wrapping up, and I'm loving it. I'm here for it, and I love the fact that we're doing things the right way. We're promoting it the right way. We're making a positive impact the right way.
Mm-hmm.
It's an amazing thing, and I'm very, very grateful to be a part of it.
I also wanted to say, good luck to Coach Beck if he does get that position.
Yeah.
I'm very excited for him. If he did, I would also be excited if he didn't.
No, he's already got it.
But says who? How do you know?
It's in the bag. It's in the bag. Come on.
Also, everyone be on the lookout too. The UFL now has available the inaugural season 2024 UFL playing cards, like the cards.
Yeah.
6 cards per pack. Go get your cards. You might find you an AJ McCarron in there or Jordan Teamu. You might just find a whole bunch of different people in there. I can honestly say that, and happy belated birthday to the Miss Danny Garcia as well.
Right.
I did want to ask you a question. What city should get a UFL team, Amber?
Oh, if I had to make a choice,
Mm-hmm.
I would love for them to get back into Vegas. I think it should be one of the teams that we had in the XFL. Vegas, Orlando. I would love Seattle Sea Dragons. I think Seattle Sea Dragons is a little too far off, but who knows what will happen in the next 5 to 10 years. I just know that, guys, get out there, get your tickets, get your season tickets. It's fun. It's family friendly. It's cost effective. You can't beat it. Like, it's a great, great day for football. UFL is making it accessible. It's making it, a unique brand, one in its own, and, supporting these players that are trying to pump their dream out there. Man, to see their faces light up when they get the call, to see them at the games. Like, I've gone to a Saints game and seen John Trey Kirkland in a Saints uniform, and he's just looking, and his face just beams up. He's like, I remember you guys, and it's awesome. It's great to have that kind of connection, and you're building it from the ground up. So they know beyond a shadow of a doubt that you fans, UFL fans, are the ones that are there when I wasn't nothing. Now I'm big and you're still here. That's, it's an amazing thing to see on their faces. As far as the city, I would love Vegas to get it back. I got a feeling they're going to go Orlando. I got a feeling they're going to bring back the Orlando team. If I had to pick one, that would be the one to pick. Why? Because Vegas already has enough going on. Orlando, I think you're going to get more road trips from teams and fans willing to drive to Orlando. It's more family friendly type city. Look, Vegas is called Sin City for a reason, guys. That's an 18 and up kind of city. Not to say that there's not fun family things to do, I just think the appeal would probably lean more towards Orlando if I had to pick one city.
I wish there was a way that the UFL could partner with Disney, because how awesome would that be?
I don't know.
I think that would help.
We're already partnered. I mean, Disney owns Fox, and we're already partnered with them.
Well, then Orlando Stadium should be packed then.
You would think, but they don't have a team right now.
I know, but I'm saying before when they were playing.
Hey, it's a grassroots thing. So wait, here's my question. If we end up working with the UFL and Fox broadcasts the UFL and Disney owns Fox, does that make us Disney princesses?
I'd be happy to sport. I would happy to be an Elsa for a day.
I'm good. I'm good. Y'all keep y'all's princess tiaras and pretty frou-frou dresses and animal sidekicks.
I'm partial to Belle from Beauty and the Beast.
You know? I don't need an animal sidekick. I'm good.
Did you have a fun fact for us this week?
I do have a fun fact. You're going to love this. Back to college. Are you ready?
Okay,
longest. I know, guys. Y'all are loving this. Ladies, I know we normally do regular football, but hey, college football is doing its old bowl playoff thing right now. The longest football field goal in college history, are you ready? Happened in the great state of Texas, the Lone Star State. Wind was 17 miles an hour, and it had a tailwind, meaning the wind was blowing from the back. So it was able to push the ball even further, thus creating the 69-yard field goal for East Texas State University. And that has been the longest field goal in collegiate football history. It happened October 16th of 1976. So not only is it the longest, but man, that record's been holding strong. Nothing bad to be said about it. But hey, if you ever want to place a bet with the hubby, I bet you doing the dishes against mowing the yard for the longest, which college has the longest football field goal in college history? Just remember, East Texas State.
All right. That was good. Better than I could ever do. Oh my. On that note, everybody, I hope everyone has great holidays.
Yeah. I mean, Hanukkah's getting ready to start. Mm-hmm. Kwanzaa should be coming up soon. Recent holidays, Diwali happened recently. So, happy belated Diwali. Mm-hmm. And of course, Merry Christmas to all.
Yes. And to all, a good night. And on that note, everybody, this is the A-Team with RC. I am Amanda, and that is
Amber.
We will see you all again soon. You may catch us next week. We will put a little something out for you if you do see us next week. If we are not here, we want to wish all of you a very Merry Christmas and Happy New Year. And with that being said, Amber, do you have anything?
Hey, I'm just going to enjoy a couple sips of the Haterade that I have recently been given as a woman who talks football. So, yum. Thank you for that. And y'all have a wonderful evening and be safe.
That's right. Thank you so much, everybody. Have a great night. We will see y'all. Bye.